Let's talk about the new topic today about the class and also how it is useful in playwright automations. So class is like a blueprint, which is also a plan, right? So it is like a blueprint or a plan, and it tells which data what data we have and how things behave, right? And also it used to create a multiple similar object easily. We'll talk about the object later on. First of all, we'll see about what class is. So basically class is like a blueprint or a plan which tells the data what data we have and how things behave. And we have taken a simple example. I have taken a simple example here. It does not create anything, right? It does not run. It's just a plan, right? So class is a plan, it's a blueprint, right? So first of all, I have created a class car, and then here we have our constructor name. So here constructor will only run when the object is created, and this is our this dot name is stores the values in the object, right? So this is just a plan, it does not create anything, right? Now let's say what if we don't have a class? So if we use the class, we can reuse again and again. So if we have a class this dot name, so I can write here, okay, car, and then I can write here BMW, and then again car, here car 1, car 2, here Toyota. I can call as many as I can, and then I can reuse this class again and again. So it's a reusability. I can reuse it again. Maintainability, if anything changes, I can change into inside the classes, right? Or these instances, I don't have to change the whole scenario, right? So class is very important for reusability, maintainability, right? And then also for automations, basically for everything. Now we'll see about how our class will work, and what if we don't have a class, then how our program will run. So if we have here, as you can see, we have an example of late car. So we have late car is equal to 1, and the name BMW color is equal to blue. So we have here one by one we have written our car 1, car 2, car 3, car 4. So suppose this is okay, but what we have 1,000 car, what we have 1,000 car, and we are going to write one by one in this format, in this method? No. For that reason, if we have 1,000 car and same structure repeated again and again, it will look messy, it is hard to maintain, and lot of repeated code, waste of time. And also it is not used in an industrial way, right? So that's why a class is needed. If we have a class, as you can see, if we have a class like, okay, so here class car, right? And we have our constructor, as you can see, name, and I will write color, right? And then here I will just call the I will just store a value into the object, right? So here name is equal to name, and this here this dot color is equal to color, and then I will simply call here what I will simply call here car 1 name BMW, pink, car 2 Toyota, yellow, car 3 BMW blue. So I can call as many as I can and reuse this class and create 1,000 car list, right, with its color. So as you can see, you can create as many as you want, right? So this is why class is needed, and it is better organizations, and class keeps everything in one place, right? A data, functions, right? So it is a clean and structured code. Okay, let's see a simple example of classes and object and constructor. We are going to use the playwright automations. So we will have all together idea what we are going to do. So we are going to, first of all, step by step, we are going to do here. So I have already created a page and taste folder where I have written here, this is our page object module. I'm following a page object module, and then here I have created inside a pages folder I have created a new file which is a login page.ts. so inside login.page.ts I'm going to write my classes, constructor, object, everything. We'll see step by step. So I'm going to first, what is happening. Okay, so import, I'm just importing a page here from where, playwright automations, right? Now I want to write here the roots. Okay, so roots is like, I'm not going to hardcore in our page object module. I'm just in pages, I'm not going to put any hardcore, and I'm just putting my URL over here, just to make sure that here let's say automation. Now I'm going to go, so we are going to do this one automations. So I'm simply going to put what, I'm simply going to put the path here, right? I'm simply going to put this part, that's it. And I will go into this data. Usually I will go to the .env and I will simply write here base URL. So what was our base URL was, okay, this was our base URL. Let's copy this one. Okay, so I'm going to fill up everything, but right now I will just use this one, and we'll moving forward we are going to do our here. Okay, so I'm going to use the class here, as you can see, export class. I'm going to use okay, let's see, a login page, right? So here I'm going to write a login page, and then inside login page I'm simply going to read only here page, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a constructor. So constructor is like, constructor will run only when the object is created. So for that reason I'm just going to write here page, right? Here so here I have created, so this will store the so this dot page will store the value in the object, right? So what else we are going to do, so this is it. So I'm going to simply going to use now here private. So I'm going to use, okay, so we are going to use the automations for that reason. Okay, so I'm going to hover in it, and then we have here, as you can see, we have here our name, ID, but I'm going to take this ID. As you can see, ID is equal to username. I'm going to take this one, right? So I'm going to take that one. I will just copy that ID, and then I'm going to use here, okay, so private, what I'm going to use, the username. Okay, so here username, select username selector is equal to, I'm going to simply use the hash, because I'm going to use the ID. For that reason I'm going to use now what, the password, right? here. So for password, again I'm going to hover into the password input field here, and then what we are going to find here, as you can see, we are going to find here our ID. So these are the element. We have our input type, name, ID, but I'm simply going to take the ID is equal to password. Right, so simply I'm going to take ID is equal to password. Now I am simply going to write what? The submit. Okay, I need a submit button as well. Without clicking to submit button, it is not going to give us anything. So as you can see, we have here button ID is equal to submit. As you can see, button ID is equal to submit, so we are going to use that. Okay, so here submit button is equal to, as you can see, we have created one class. Inside one class I'm going to use the locator. So this is our locator, right? And then after using a locator, I'm going to use the method. So this is it. Now let's use our method, which is our async. Here I'm going to simply write a login website, let's say. And here I will simply write await this dot I want this dot page dot go to where I want you to go to. Okay, so I'm simply going to write here. Okay, so as you can see, why I have written here root.ts, why I have written here automation this path, because I do not want to use the hardcore over here and simply use by importing from there. So simply I'm importing the root, right? Root dot automations. The dot automations means what I have. Okay, so as you can see, so root is our class, so export constant root, so root is our, okay, so from which file I have from which folder I have I have export this file from the utils, and which folder name is roots, and then here we have export from the root dot automations, right, from there. Okay, so this simply, okay, so what we have done here is simply it will go into our login page, right? Now let's make another method, because as you can see, we are not going to mix we are not going to give many responsibility to one website. So to this to this method, I'm simply giving a login website to go to the page, and just go to the page first of all, and then I'm simply going to separate here login, let's say login or let's say login here, and then I'm simply going to write the username because I have to separate the data type. So why to separate a data type is it will not give us a wrong code, it will not be mismatch, right? So it will help, so by separating a data type, it will help us to write a clean and maintainable code. Now after going to the website, we are going to simply go for await this dot here page dot here locator. So what we are going to do here is simply I'm going to write here this dot username selector. So here this is a username selector, right? Dot click, right? So I am writing a username. Okay, sorry, here fill, because we are not going to click it, we are going to fill it, for that reason. Okay, so I have, okay, we have filled one username field. After filling our username field, please go to the um, password, this dot password. Oh, okay, okay, let's not write password only here, write password selector. Okay, here password selector, then after here dot fill, and then after here I'm going to simply write of fill the password. Right, now what are we going to do here? Await this dot paste dot, what I'm going to simply do is I'm going to simply write a locator, right? And this dot I'm simply going to submit, and then here I'm going to simply click it, right? So after clicking it, the login page is open, but let's confirm that, let's verify that our login page has opened. For that reason, let's write our async here, verify login. For that reason, I'm going to simply use the expect. For that reason, I have to import expect to, yeah, and then await this dot here, um, paste dot expect, await this dot ex no await expect, sorry, expect. Here what we are going to write here is this dot locator, simply this dot page dot locator, right? And then I want to be like, okay, I want what I want is I want, okay, let's here write student, and then we will see here. Okay, I just, okay, here just copy, now here just paste, and then we will see. Okay, I want this successful message. For that reason, I'm simply going to copy this path here, copy this path and just place over here, right? To be, okay, so here to be visible, right? So if it's verify, so if it's login, then it will be verified that our login has successfully done, right? Now what are we going to do here? We are simply going to go to the our test data, and then we are going to write our export. I'm going to write in a JSON format. Okay, so here export constant, I'm simply going to write here users data here, and then simply you're going to write our username, and then here I'm going to simply write a student, right? And then we have our password, which is our what is student 123, I guess. Okay, let's go back. Password 123, so okay, not a student, it's a password 123, right? So we have to put inside the, okay, then after what are we going to do is simply we are going to import it. So here we are going to, I have already made a folder test, where I have make a file inside the test folder is login.spec.ts. so let's do this one again. So what are we going to do here? We are simply going to first of all import our okay, we have to import our login page, right? Now login page. Now we are going to import our utils, which is our, okay, I need to see, okay, test data. So here I need to, okay, here test data, is it where is utils? Okay, user data. Okay, so I need to, okay, here user data, right? And then after I'm going to simply here import, I need to import one more thing, which is our user data. Okay, I need to import the test as well. Right, I need to import the test from, okay, so let's do our test. Okay, inside the logging spec.ts. So inside this one I'm simply going to write test, and then I will simply write the login page, and then I will simply write the async. Here inside I'm going to simply write a page, right? And then what are we going to have is okay, 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 my mistake. So now we are simply going to write here, we are going to make a promise which is like constant. Here I'm simply going to make a login, here page is equal to login inside page. Now I simply need what, oh sorry, my bad, here new. Okay, now what are we going to do here is simply we are simply going to write here login page, right? Oh wait, login page dot I'm simply writing first of all, okay, let's see in our page, then we have a login website first of all, right? Dot here first of all login website, right? And then wait, here after login website we have login login, right? So login page dot login, inside login I have to write the test data, user data, right? So user data, where is our user data? Inside a test data. So we have, okay, user data dot username. So user data dot username, user data dot password. Okay, after this I'm simply going to write here, okay, we have login right? Oh, okay. Okay, now one more thing I have to. Okay, so login page dot verify login. So let's check. If we have any mistake, we are going to correct it. So overall what we have done is we have talked about the class. Here as you can see, this is a class, and then constructor is without or if to run a constructor we need an object to so that is created. So the object must be created to run a constructor, right? And then we are going to, this is our what, locators, this is our methods, and then and this is whole one class, and then we are reusing again and again. As you can see, how we can reuse in we are using in a test. I have not mixed anything because in POM I am separating each pages and then each classes within one page, right? And then I'm making a separate test case for a test as well, and we are reusing it again and again. So these are all the objects, right? And then we only import the class there. This is our one class, then this is our object, right? So now, so this is a whole automations it is, but this is how we can learn how basic our class and object, how it works in our day to day, our daily automations. Let's check it out and see if we have any mistake, we have done any mistake. So simply click over here, or you can write in a terminal npx playwright test. It will run our program. So we have done a headless, which is a false I have done, so that's why we will create this one. So okay, we have failed. Why? It is because to be, okay, so to be visible. So here we have a mistake. Did you mean, okay, so we have here mistakes. So what we can do here is simply I'm going to write here, I'm going to copy from here, and then write text is equal to v. So we will get exactly this one when it is going to be successfully login. So we have successfully login, but the main problem is it is not verified. So it is verified now. As you can see, we have, first of all, it has logged in, it has filled the form, and then after filling the form, it is going to give us our successful message, which is our congratulations students, you successfully logged in. So this is a message, our system verified.